everybody. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day today. So, it would seem that Chantal is back in Kuwait. That's right. She's no longer in Thailand. She's back in Kuwait. So, I wanted to go over her live as well as her community posts and stuff on Twitter. So, I'd like to give you guys some good news. The good news is the live that she did, it really wasn't that long. It was about 30 minutes long. So, small victory there. There's not a lot to go over, but there is some stuff to go over. Bad news. Well, now that she's back in Kuwait, we know what's going to happen. We know that now she's back in Kuwait where she wants to be. She's not going to travel. She's not going to show us anything new. I told you guys, I told you, and you'll see for yourselves in the future. Now that she's back where she wants to be, she's just going to sit in the apartment in the air conditioning and just eat herself stupid. Because that's what she was doing before she left. She really wasn't going out. She wasn't showing us anything new. It was just her gorging her face. Although, come to think about it, with the terms of service changing and YouTube demonetizing videos glorifying problems with food, how much longer is she going to be able to do that? Although Chantal is very stubborn, even though she knows she should change up her content, she's not going to. She's still going to stick to the same old, because it's lazy, easy content. And she doesn't want to do anything that would be considered work. So there's that. So, how about we go over the community post first and get those out of the way? Because Chantal is still raging. She's still poking at people, still poking, poke. I honestly, I don't know why she's poking, but she is. But let's just go over those first. Okay? So let's just start right here. All right. So let's start with the latest ones. Okay, we covered that one. So this is one of the newer ones, 6 hours ago, showing a picture of Julia saying, "Our beautiful princess is growing up." So I was wondering if she still had Julia, how Julia was doing. All the talk about BBJ on her end, and there was no mention of Julia or missing Julia. But here's a picture of Julia, and looking at this picture, I'm someone that I used to have a long-haired cat, a ragamuffin, which was very similar to a ragdoll cat. Her name was Snowball. And looking at Julia's fur, it looks like she's badly matted. And you can even see it. Look at the way the fur changes right around here. Right here near this area. So it looks like this poor cat has not been properly brushed in quite a while. That's not the way her fur should look. This part right here is especially concerning. And for those who are not cat owners, something you should know. Mats like that, they can go down to the skin. The skin can twist up in the fur. A cat's skin is very much like onion skin. It's very, very thin. So it's very prone to fungal infections, bacterial infections. It can get quite serious quite quickly. So that's why if you have a long-haired dog or cat, you have to keep them properly brushed. It's a little bit more maintenance, but it's one that you sign up for when you become a pet owner and you have a long-haired cat or dog or guinea pig or whatnot. You just have to keep on top of the fur. So her posting this picture of Julia, it's not the best picture, Chantal. Anybody who's ever owned a long-haired cat can easily tell that cat needs to be brushed or taken to a vet and be shaved down if need be, because this is just concerning, okay? So shame on you for not brushing her or leaving her in the care of somebody who didn't brush her for you. Okay, next post. Foodie Beauty When you have no better content to put out, then comment on how much rice someone's eating. So this has to do with her live because she's back in Kuwait and she's very happy because she's got those supersized portions. And people were commenting on the fact that she was eating 6 portions of rice all at one time, which was something that she was doing before she left. So gloating over the fact that people are still commenting on her portion sizes and they're not good for her. Okay, this might be a long post. Is it? Did she write a book? Thank God she didn't. Foodie Beauty, her cat hates her. You reaction channels are real crap. Stop lying and twisting things for content. You are all liars. It's insane. She's been glued to me since I came here. Insane how anyone thinks that crap is content. Why don't you talk about something relevant instead of how much rice someone eats or what their visa status is? Boring lives much? Foodie, do you realize what you just did there? If you don't realize it here, let me point it out for you. Let's see. Insane how anyone thinks that crap is content. So you're basically saying, Foodie, without saying it, that your content is crap. Do you realize you just said that? You are saying my content is crap. Although I would never argue with you because it is. It's boring. It's crap. It's boring crap. So you're putting yourself down. You really are. Why don't you talk about something relevant? So there you go again, calling yourself irrelevant. In one sentence, you say your content is crap, and then the next you say it's irrelevant. She can't even complain right without putting herself down. I love it. I absolutely love it. And here's a picture of the hamster. Call me crazy, but that does not look like the same hamster. Wasn't Howie the hamster more of a gray color? And didn't he have different ears? Why is this one brown? This looks like a different hamster, a completely different hamster. So, things that make you go, Okay, so that's it for her community post. So let's hop on over to Twitter because I found some interesting stuff on Twitter. And by the way, yes, we are doing a calm reaction today. I went off on Chantal in my video. I said what I said. I don't take any of it back. I don't apologize for any of it, nor should I, because I'm not going to be nice to people who are not nice to animals. Just not going to happen. I'm a nice person to a point. And my line is, I'm not going to be nice to people who are cruel and mean to animals, that neglect and torture animals and starve them. My nice stops there. You do that to animals, I'm not going to be nice to you. I'm not going to co-sign on your cruelty. Anyway, let's start here with Persephone talking about Chantal, saying, she is already looking matted and dingy. My cat has fur similar to Julia's. If I go more than a day without brushing him, he gets micromats. And within a few days, they are huge and then wanting closer to the skin. Chantal should not be allowed to have animals, and I completely agree. And before we go any further, can I just calmly say this to everyone, whether it's one of my viewers, a VIB, someone in the community that from another channel. Some people have complained saying that they're tired of all the cat talk, that the BBJ thing, it's been talked to death. They are tired of hearing about it. I understand. But at the same time, if you want to point a finger in the direction of keeping it going, you got to point your finger back at Chantal, because she will not leave the subject alone. She won't leave BBJ alone. BBJ is no longer her pet. BBJ is in a loving home with great people. She's being taken care of. She's being taken to the vet every 3 weeks. She is where she needs to be. But all of us who are reactors, we would gladly move on from the subject and let her retire in peace, if not for Chantal. But Chantal keeps bringing up the subject of BBJ. She, even from afar, is trying to exploit this whole topic of BBJ and use BBJ and BBJ's name to poke at people and get people angry. And I think there's a part of her that she just can't get over the fact that FFG got one over on her. Like, her narcissistic pride just has not recovered yet from it. And so she'll keep bringing it up. She'll keep talking about it. She'll keep mentioning it in her lives or her videos and just going on about it when there's really nothing she can do. BBJ won. She is in a great place with great people. She's in a great home. I mean, really, that's all you can ask for. I know that talking about BBJ, it's a triggering topic. It's something that makes a lot of us upset. Just to think about what happened to BBJ, what happened to Sam, because they were both in a horrible home. But Chantal just keeps bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. And on the profit front, something for me. I just don't understand why Chantal would keep bringing up the subject when it's something that looks really, really bad on her. That if you're someone on a channel and you're losing money and you're losing subscribers to the point where you're buying them and you're buying likes, why would you bring up something that could potentially hurt your channel? Why keep bringing it up? Knowing that the reaction channels, we've got the clips, we've got the videos, we can show all kinds of stuff on how the cats lived, the filthy, nasty conditions, the neglect. And that's going to be spread further all over YouTube. And the VIBs that are on Chantal's channel, they have more of a chance to learn what happened. Why would you do something that's counterproductive to what you're doing? It makes no sense, y'all. Absolutely none. But Chantal, she just works backwards. Instead of moving forward, she'll move backward and just shoot herself in the foot. So again, there's a picture of Julia. Okay, this is from Shenanigans. So for those who are not aware, Chantal did a skit video that was really weird, creepy, and disturbing. It had to do with a 911 call, and in the call, Salah had been unalived. I watched the video and I'm like, this is strange and disturbing. And if I were Salah, I'd be sleeping with one eye open. Because up until now, she was in Thailand. She was angry. She was hungry. She was ragey. She was, switching out medications, and she's doing skits like this. Yeah, doesn't sound like a safe situation to me, but she's here explaining the Stay on the Line video. So let's watch.
Stay on the line. Hi, Amy. Because I was watching like a bunch of 911 calls and like crime videos where like the 911 dispatcher, like the person's like freaking out in the middle of a real emergency, and they're asking like really questions that they must have a reason to ask. I don't know. And some of them are just so rude. Like they're just so desensitized to like you know, human tragedy. It's kind of sad, but I don't know. I guess that was the inspiration behind it, just like a parody of that. And people were like, well, this is so insensitive. Like the reaching just to like try to demonize my character more is just like insane.
No, Chantal, I watched a great deal of that video. It was creepy. You were trying to put on a Southern accent because, in my opinion, you were doing it because you assume all of the Western world were all hillbillies. So you're trying to put on a hillbilly accent, a Southern accent. Mama, I come from a Southern family. There's more to being Southern than just an accent. Southern people are known for their hospitality, but we're also known for giving out that polite shade. By the way, if you ever hear a Southern person look at you and say, well, bless your heart, they're not giving you a compliment. They're really not. I'm just saying. But you were trying to put on a fake, phony, really terribly done Southern accent. And in the skit, your husband was not alive. Creepy, really creepy. It was like, why is she doing this? Are you having really bad thoughts, Chantal? Are you thinking about acting on those thoughts? Ugh. So yeah, it was weird. And it wasn't funny. It really wasn't funny. And I'm not a 911 operator, nor have I been, but I would imagine 911 operators, people call them in a very highly emotional state, and they have to stay calm and ask the right questions to get the information to send the proper help. But usually when people call, I'm sure they're highly emotional and screaming and crying and whatnot. And it's like they're trying to get through the emotional part of the conversation to calm the person down and to get the facts so they can send the proper help to people. So if that was your attempt at humor, it sucked. It didn't come off as funny. It came off as creepy and weird that you're having these thoughts about your husband. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, this is something interesting from DX saying just a reminder that despite what Chantal says, her missing teeth are not baby teeth that never came in because of genetics. So here's a younger picture of Chantal on the left. Here is a more current picture of her on the right. So what happened, Chantal? Your teeth look perfectly normal here. Like what happened? I mean, I'm just asking questions. I'm allowed to. All right, this is a great comment, courtesy of Creepy Corner. So here's what he put. Here's what he or she, I'm not sure which, Creepy Corner put for Chantal, saying, here is some real level advice. Maybe don't poke the bear when your status is hanging by a broken thread living in Kuwait. Also, when a female out there helps you by helping you wash because your inability to wash yourself, maybe don't throw that woman under the bus. Chantal, not one person online dislikes you because of your weight. You say this because the truth would finish you off and you know the lies you built are showing through the cracks. Does it make you cry at night knowing he is only with you because of the lies? Do you still lie to Salah and tell him you can make what you once did? Chantal, stop bringing up your past cats and focus on what will happen to your current animals if Kuwait ships you back to Canada. I also would be very careful not to get really sick in Kuwait because we all know you would be in serious trouble. Also, instead of worrying about what reaction channels say, focus on your own sick audience and make them contents since they are the reason for your check, however small. Stop claiming that people hate you because you're fat. Here's the reasons they strongly dislike you. Number 1, the animal blank. 2, your lack of empathy. 3, selfishness. 4, your sick, selfish humor. 5, the lazy, lackluster content. 6, you glorify your BED online and get paid. 7, gaslighting you put people through. 8, blank thrown at your paying audience. 9, attacking below the belt. 10, doxing. I will stop there, but that list will be so much longer. You see weight on that list? No, because the number on your scale means nothing. Absolutely true. Chantal's weight is her issue. She can fix it or not fix it. It's her life. She can do whatever she wants with her body. But there's so many other reasons why people do not like Chantal and speak on Chantal. But she's always trying to use the fact that she is of a larger size as a shield for everything else that's wrong with her. Okay, this is from Dell on Earth and courtesy of Unicorn Pondu. So this is when she first bought the abaya, and here we are now. And what's really scary is when you think about she's back in Kuwait. I told you guys she's not going to go anywhere for the next few months. She's going to do what she was doing before she left. She's going to sit in that air conditioned room and she's going to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And she's going to use the excuse of, well, I went to Thailand. I showed you guys some stuff. I traveled. So now I have permission to sit on my butt and do nothing for the next 4 or 5 months. And if you don't watch it, Chantal, you're going to be bedbound really, really fast. Not because I'm wishing that upon you, but the fact that you're wishing it upon yourself. Okay, this is interesting from DX. A little comparison chart. BBJ and Chantal, who is in worse shape? BBJ has arthritis, thyroid issues, stage 1 kidney disease. Chantal, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, history of blood clots, morbid obesity, hormonal issues, decaying mouth, gingivitis, gum disease, enlarged heart, severe psychological and behavioral issues. Yeah, I'd say BBJ1. I say BBJ1. Oh, and for anyone coming over here that might be a VIB, you don't have to like me. You know, I'm an acquired taste. I'm not for everyone. You don't have to like the reaction channels. But take a look at these pictures right here. These pictures are when Chantal was at the villa before she left to go to Kuwait. This is what her house looked like. And as they say, pictures do not lie, and they say 1,000 words. So just take a look. So here she is, top left, smoking the green in front of her elderly cat, BBJ. This right here, the middle left, is her living room. All that crap in her living room. Bottom left, this is from her bedroom. Bottom right, also from her bedroom. This was BBJ's feeding area. Top right, her living room. This is just a sample of the filth those cats were living in. That's not counting the 3 or 4 box mountains that she had in her house, or the fridge full of rotting food, or the moldy pots, or the fruit flies. I mean, it was really, really bad. There was also talk about bags of garbage that got set on the balcony and weren't taken out for months because Pete's couldn't be bothered to take them down to the dump. So they sat there through summer and winter. So I'm just saying, you don't like me, you don't have to like me. But if Chantal's trying to paint a picture of being a caring owner, look at the pictures. Please just take a look at them. Take a good, hard look, a close-up look of your queen. The way that she was living and the way she was making her pets live. Anybody who is a pet lover, animal lover, ask yourself, is that an environment for a human as well as a pet? Absolute filth. You can't even walk from one area to another without stepping on garbage and clothes and whatever else. I say no. I absolutely say no. And that's courtesy. That's also courtesy of Buck. So thank you, Buck. Thank you. All right. Enough with Twitter. Let's go on to the live. Let's bring that up. And we're doing a calm react today. You guys come here for the calmness. I'm here to give it to you. So let's see what Chantal has to say in her live.
Hi, babe. Are you first? Yes, you are. Bismillah. Baby, yeah.
Okay, before we even get deep into this, You guys see these V-shaped lines on her cheek? That's from the CPAP mask. Chantal, it's pretty obvious you need to get another CPAP mask. You need to get a bigger one with longer straps because the one you have is obviously way too tight. Way too tight. Your skin does not look good. You look terrible. Absolutely terrible. So it looks like you just woke up and you're already eating. So you're back into those really bad habits.
Hello, Anonymous. Benedict, I am home, yes. Back in my home.
No, ma'am, it's not your home. You're not a resident there. You're there on a visa, so it really isn't home, is it?
It's not morning here. I know it is where you guys are, but what the heck is wrong with you, Chris Edwards? Yogurt? I'm just eating my greens. Teas. Hello. Lovely. Sorry, guys. I'm so hungry. You cannot eat this. Please go away.
Yeah, somebody in the chat is saying, dang, I was hoping for Canada. Weren't we all? Not because I want to see Chantal go back to Canada and do any kind of substance. She could easily go back and not do any kind of party favor. Because I think we can all agree we're all tired of the fakery. We're tired of this fake cosplay and her pretending to be something she's not. We just want her to go back to Canada so she can be her real, authentic self. And you can do that without party favors. We were all hoping she'd go back to Canada. But she's insisting on coming back to Kuwait. And I'm going to just keep it genuine with all of you. If she's back in Kuwait, and if she's going to do lives and videos, and all she's going to do is eat, I don't know if I'm going to be reacting to her as much. I mean, because what is there to talk about? The food going into her mouth, sitting in the same room with the same curtains and the same blue couch. That's not going to be very interesting. It was interesting for half a minute when she was in Thailand because it was a different environment. There's different things to talk about besides the food. But now that she's, basically situated herself back in Kuwait, like, what is there to discuss? Yeah.
Why would you hope for Canada? I don't understand that.
Because it's boring there in Kuwait with you.
Canada's done with. If you're hoping for me to go back, there's no hope. I'm here. I'm Kuwait now. Hi, Jessica. No, I haven't weighed in. It is 12:40. Hey, Beezers. Have a nesty. I'm just going to eat with you guys.
Why do you have to do that, though? Why do you have to eat with your audience? Why can't you eat off camera? Why are you turning eating into a public affair? The public does not want to see you eat. And if there are members of the public that want to see you eat, it's because that's part of their fetish. And if you cared about what's wrong with you, you wouldn't eat on camera. You would do it off camera, where you're mindful of what you eat and you're not turning the food into a show. Because we know what that's going to lead to.
I know, Lisa. I don't expect many people to be here, like even less than usual, because it's like really late where you guys are. Mandy, Kim, Nessa, lovely. Okay, if I don't see your comments, every comment, I'm sorry.
So Pandy also says, eating on the blue couch is boring. There's nothing interesting anymore. We've said that. All of us are saying that. We're like, good God. Her being in Kuwait the first time and then going over there the second time. It just, when is it going to end? When is this boring content going to end? When she was in Kuwait, she and Salah, they took us everywhere they could take us. They found every location that was deserted or abandoned, where there was nobody. What have we seen, y'all? We've seen not much of Kuwait. Deserted beaches at night. uh, lots of road footage driving by things with voiceovers and copyright free music. I mean, what else is she going to show us in Kuwait? Especially if she keeps eating the way that she's eating. She's going to make herself bigger and bigger and bigger, which means she's not going to have much mobility. And if she doesn't watch it, she's going to get bedbound, and then her going anywhere, her traveling is not going to be a possibility. But look, look at the rice. This is why she's happy to be back in Kuwait. The super huge portions. She was complaining about the portion sizes in Thailand and how expensive they are. But this is why she's happy to be back in Kuwait. All the rice she can stuff down her throat, as if she needs rice, as if she needs all those carbs.
Look at this food. Super cheap, fresh, delicious kebab with Bukhari rice.
No disrespect on Kuwait in the food. Absolutely none. I'm just giving my honest opinion. That looks like two turds put on a bed of rice. I'm just saying. Maybe they taste delicious, but it doesn't look very nice.
Rice, which is like an Afghani style rice, and yogurt and fresh bread. Baby Yel. My cat's been sticking to me like glue.
No, she is.
And they give you, look at this fresh bread. It's still hot. The Middle East has the best food. I don't care what anyone says. And yogurt. So, yeah, I'm back home. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm not going to always be just eating on the boot couch, but when I do lives, I mean, I don't know where else to go.
How about not eating at all? How about doing a live where food or snacks are not involved? Take the food out of the equation. You already do food videos. Isn't that enough? If you're doing a live, do something interesting. Find topics to talk about that do not revolve around food. Don't make food be anywhere near your lives. Separate the two. But you don't know how to do that. You're always wanting to bring in food. You like to say that you're married to Salah, but you're not married to Salah. You're married to your problem with food. And you won't get away from it because everywhere you go, everything you do, food has to be involved. That's why I'm glad YouTube is going to put the kibosh on all this crap.
What was I going to say? Yeah. So we're home and very exhausted. We got home yesterday.
Oh, and one more thing, Chantal. You were over in Thailand and obviously you were doing things. You were going to the green shops and getting your body used to that. Usually, what happens when you get your body used to a certain kind of party favor, because you can't get it anymore, you rage. That's something that Salah is going to have a lot of fun dealing with in the coming days.
Thank you, Trixie. Hi, Faye. Oh, SoCal, hi. Well, thanks for popping in. A walk on the beach? Actually, it's still not that. It's not, it's getting, it's in the 30s now instead of the 50s. Fresh yogurts. So we will be doing more because it's winter. Like, I couldn't, like, getting away from this intense heat for a month and a half. I think we might do that every summer here.
Chantal, if you don't watch it with that food intake, consuming all those calories, by winter's end, you'll be bedbound. I'm just saying.
Inshallah, because it's so hot. Barbara. I know, I'm happy to be home. Yes, Nessa. So we got to Kuwait around 4 p.m. And oh my gosh, the cat has been nonstop purring loudly, just sticking to us like glue. She's so happy to see us. Hi, Blacks. Peachy. Thank you. You can't sleep, not feeling great. Oh, I hope you feel better. Me, I slept like we slept so much because we were so tired. Skins Shangri-La. Yeah, that's what it is, Rebecca. Thank you. We were so tired. Welcome everybody. And it was a very, very long travel day because we were so excited, just like packing everything and ready to be home. We just stayed awake until our flight, till we had to go to the airport because you have to be at the airport pretty early, right? So I'm like, we'll just sleep on the plane. We have to be on the plane for almost 7 hours. Yeah, right. The plane. I forgot how uncomfortable it is.
Listen, airplane flights, depending on how long you're on the plane, can be uncomfortable, even if you're a normal sized person, but I'm sure even more so if you're of a bigger size. So the larger you make yourself, the more difficult it's going to be, the more painful it's going to be, the more expensive it's going to be because you have to purchase an extra seat or two. And you're over there talking about how you and Salah are going to travel. You're going to keep traveling. Well, then why aren't you doing all that you can do to make it to where you can travel safely and easily? But no, you're over there stuffing your face as usual.
So I barely got any shut eye. Maybe like I'm without my CPAP. And they kept waking you up like for drinks or dinner. Hi, Freya. Thanks, Rebecca. Queen Beezeris. It was exhausting. Like by the end of it, I'm like, I'm so ready to just like crash out. But then when we get home, we get to Kuwait, we had to go pick up the pets, then bring like everything upstairs, which I mean, admittedly, a lot did, but um, sorry. Mm-hmm. Back home. So once we have to like, the work is not over. I feel like we just moved in. There's like, I can't really show you much because it's a disaster in here unpacking everything. Oh my gosh. Like the weight limit, I think was like 50 kgs, okay, for checked baggage. Ours was like 50 right on the dot. We had so much baggage to bring home.
I know this may be a small issue, but Salah and Chantal just got home, so why aren't they doing a live together? He's not on camera with her. He's in the chat modding. And he's doing that a lot lately. Like when she goes live, he doesn't go live with her. He stays out of the view of the camera. He might speak, on the side, but he won't show his face alongside Chantal's.
But it's so nice to be back in the land of the halal. There's no place like home. Yeah, exactly. That's what I say. So we have to like restock. I have to clean everything because I cleaned before I left really well, but it somehow still was like dirty a bit when I came home because like a month and a half.
You have to try the lamb on the guts.
Oh God, there he is. Go away, Salah. Go back to your room. Go play your video games.
So tasty.
Have some kebab.
Okay, give me some.
Here.
No, small one.
But wait, he just said in the chat, I'm eating my lunch. He just said that in the chat, I'm eating my lunch, but then he's coming in here and saying he's getting some food. I guess you weren't eating your lunch.
We have too much lamb there.
See, there he is saying, I'm having my lunch now and watching. So, how are you having your lunch and yet you're walking out into this room and saying, "Hey, give me some food"?
Hey, Julia.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you, babe. Enjoy your food.
Ugh,
You too, honey.
go away, Salah.
Thank you.
Anytime.
What else was I gonna say about the trip? So yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable, but it's the same couch. It's pretty distinctive. How is it different? BB Gal. Here's my BB Gal. You guys want to see Julia? Oh, say hi. Say hi. Hey. You smell the meat? Oh. Oh. You don't like to be held very much, do you?
Well, that's because you've had cats for years and you still don't know how to hold them. Cats don't like to be held that way. You're holding her up with her paws in the air to where she feels completely vulnerable. You don't hold them like that. They don't like that. How can you be a cat owner and you hold the cats like that? It's so awkward. I never hold Booger like that.
Hey. Howie's in the other room. Same coach. Hi, Muff. Anyway, Howie, I cleaned his cage. I cleaned his cage last night before going to sleep. But we have to go to pet. We have so much to do today, so I can't.
I still stand by what I said. I don't think that's the same hamster. Howie the hamster was a gray color with black markings. That hamster in the picture that she showed in her community post was brown. It looks like a whole different hamster and younger too. Actually, Howie, Harry, whatever his name is, he looked bigger too. So the hamster in the picture looked like a younger hamster.
Can't be on long. We have to go to Pet Zone. I have to. She needs like full grooming. Hi, Sarah. Howie needs new chew toys because that's how they file their teeth, right? Did you know that about hamsters? Anyway, it's good to be home. Hi, Jessica. Wow. Thank you. Pouring the soup on the rice. It's so good. Last night we had Hardee's because like we don't have any food. We have to do a full grocery order, which we will do. Like it's exhausting traveling. Wow, you know. But it was very nice. Like I said, getting out of this intense heat for like a month and a half.
Can I say something about the whole Thailand trip, if I may? Thailand, it's a wonderful place full of wonderful things. And it's really unfortunate that despite the fact that Chantal and Salah were there for over a month, they didn't even show us a fraction of the wonderful things that Thailand had to offer. The beautiful beaches with the crystal clear blue green water, all the different temples, all the different things that were there. We just saw maybe just a little bit. It was really lame. And it's really sad that she's back in Kuwait knowing that no more interesting things to look at. What you're seeing right now is what we're going to see for the next 6 months. And that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I can stick with this. I'm very happy to react to Chantal if there's something react worthy. But if it's going to be the same live or the same video over and over, it's just different varying degrees of fast food, like what's the freaking point?
You just ate 2 apples? Granny Smith or what? Hi, Heidi. Yeah, I was super relieved to be home. Like when we touched down in Kuwait, I almost cried. I'm like, Kuwait. Thanks, Nessa. Thank you, guys. So I am eating my, yeah, we had Hardee's because I'm like, we can literally order from any, like, that's what I like about being here. We could just order any fast food and not worry about what. I can't have fast food in Canada. It's not halal.
Chantal, you don't care if the fast food is halal or not. You were in Thailand and you were eating food left and right that wasn't halal. You don't care if it's halal. You just care if it goes in your mouth and down your throat. She's just happy that she's back in Kuwait and she can get those supersized portions for cheap. As if she needs those supersized portions for cheap. She doesn't.
The plain food is always good with Qatar Airways, right, hun? But like, I was so tired, I didn't have much of an appetite, surprisingly. So I refused a few things. As soon as you get on the plane, maybe 5 or 10 minutes after, um, they come around, they give you whatever you want to drink and some crackers.
She's talking about the same things she's described before. She's been on the plane before. She's talked about them coming forward and offering the meals, blah, blah, blah. We've heard this before. Why is this a topic of conversation again? Why not pick something different?
But then, like maybe 10 minutes later, they're serving a full meal. Maybe they just figure people are so exhausted from waiting in the airport. Oh, what am I eating?
What's she eating? Too much.
Yeah, for sure, Blacks. It's
like that. What do you say to that? What do you say? Why does one person need all of that? Even if you ordered all of that and they gave you a supersized portion and you didn't ask for it, wouldn't the wise thing to be to take more than half of that and put it in a bowl and put it in your fridge and just save it for another meal? Use it to make another meal. Wouldn't that be the smarter thing to do?
like kebab and Bukhari rice. I ate her snacks on the plane. Yeah, exactly. I give them to you, eh? May as well, instead of refusing it, give it to you. Because you were hungry. But yeah, they gave us, so for the meal, Salah had like a creamy macaroni.
Oh, who cares?
I had
blah, blah, blah.
That's the thing. Like, why bother buying food in the airport when you're just going to be unless you're not going to eat on the plane?
Okay, we're going to scoot forward because I really don't care to hear her talk about what she ate on the plane. Who gives a crap? It's airplane food. This is not interesting content, Chantal. Not at all.
Sometimes. TikTok. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing stuff on TikTok.
Why? Why would you want to do stuff on TikTok? You already know they don't really pay over there, right? So why bother? It makes no sense. You have your main channel, you have your couples channel, you have your ASMR channel, and now you've got the new channel that you said you're going to do wifey type vlogs. And that's not including your Twitch channel. So why start up TikTok when you've got like 5 or 6 different platforms you got to take care of?
The elephants were cute. They were so cute. Especially whenever someone's like, do you want more? She's like, oh, the place that burned. Oh my God. I cannot believe that. Greens. I was like, watch, they're going to blame us. I can predict what haters are gonna say right before I say it. You know. American flights have no food. Wow. Yeah, sorry, the minute I woke up, I put some laundry in because I'll never take my washer and dryer in my home for granted ever again. Because let me tell you, it was
I'm sorry. The sound that you hear in the background is not her washer and dryer. That's her air conditioner. She's got her air conditioner on full blast. It's not the sound of a washer and dryer. I know the sound of it.
expensive to wash and dry. One load at the hotel is like almost 500 bahts, which is like 5 kd, which is like 25 bucks. I guess that's not that bad, but yeah, I mean, if you're doing laundry often because we're going out, we're sweating a lot, you know, so I mean, it's kind of pricey.
Chantal, you sit there and you complain about the cost of laundry. At the same time, you're dropping how much money at the 7-Eleven getting those snacks and getting the takeout? So you won't complain about the cost of takeout if it's fast food, which is something you like, but something you need, like clean clothes to make sure you have proper hygiene and so you're not stinking up whatever place you're in, you'll complain about that. I mean, make it make sense. If it's a want, you want it, you desire it, you'll pay any price for it, and you won't complain. But a need that's much more urgent, if it's more than $5, you'll complain about it. Maybe they had to wash the clothes like 2 or 3 times to get the smell out, to get the stench out, to get the sweat out. You ever think about that? Because you'll sit there and you'll wear an outfit like multiple times over. So maybe it was extra putrid and they had to sterilize it. Maybe that's why.
Bees and elephants. Peachy. This video exactly blocks, yeah. Stay tuned for a couple of short videos. Yeah. Akid, babe. Very true. Yeah.
How sad is this? Somebody in our chat saying, it is nice seeing you in another outfit. How sad it is that Chantal is over there being praised for changing her clothes. And that's something that we all do on the normal. We all take a shower or a bath daily. We put on a different outfit daily. But this one, she doesn't change her clothes to the point where when she actually does change her clothes, people praise her for it. Thank you for putting on another outfit, Chantal. Just simple adulting, and people have to give her a gold star.
Yeah, back home, back to work. Back to working hard. But like, what was I going to say? Someone asked me something I forget. But yeah, very exhausting travel day. Seeing you in another outfit. Yeah, remember this one?
Girl, you keep going with those carbs and 6 portions of rice, you won't be able to fit into any of your abayas. You're going to have them custom made. You might want to slow down on those carbs.
That's the thing. I only brought a few outfits. I hate traveling heavy, but coming home, we didn't have a choice. You know, 25 to do laundry. Hi, Bambas. Yeah, I know. They do it for you, though, when they fold it and everything, and it's like unwrinkled. So maybe that's why. I don't know. So, you know, plus tip. Yeah. Oh, you're a good girl. Babe. She's scratching her new scratch post. Are you looking yay? Yes, you are. Oh my gosh. She's she's gotten bigger since we left her. Like she when we first got her, she was just small and now she's what are you doing? She's funny. She's grown a lot.
Has she gotten bigger or is her fur matted? It looks matted to me, Chantal. And another thing, just something from personal experience, having a long haired cat. Usually, the way it goes, if you got a very furry, long haired cat, they look really poofy and big when their fur is dry. But the moment you give them a bath, they look like a drowned rat. You can see the true body underneath the fur. So Julia looks really floofy, but matted floofy. So I'm wondering, like, how much of that is matted fur that needs to be dealt with?
Um, but yeah, the travel's over. That was the hardest part. Ugh, just the transfer. But yeah, like this airline, you're saying, oh yeah, the no food in the
All this talk about the airlines and the flight and the food, all that time you spent in Thailand, you can't come back and talk to us about Thailand, anything. All the focus is on food, the fixation on food, talking extensively about the airline food and the meals, although we've heard it before. Why? Just why?
good girl. You need a scratch post? We get the anything with like carpet or wood or something, you know. You love it. There's catnip on it though. That's why. So like even so we had to do like a 6 hour and like 40-minute flight from Bangkok to Doha. Because most flights connect like you have to stop off at like the Hamad International Airport if you take Qatar Airways.
You know what? We don't care. We don't care how long your flight was. We don't care how hard it was. We really don't care. Nobody cares, Chantal. You're talking about little teeny tiny dull details that nobody cares about versus something interesting that people would be engaged with.
So then there's like a 1 hour, it was like 56 minutes flight, okay? Stay on the line. Hi, Amy. Because I was watching like a bunch of 911 calls and like crime videos where like the 911
Before she says anything, a note. So apparently, there's a bunch of stuff on TikTok. People, I guess, maybe spoofing 911 calls. She's always keeping an eye on TikTok to see what's trending, what might go viral. And yet, despite all the many trends that she's tried to hop on, all the many trains she's tried to get on and make it go viral for her, none of that has worked out for her. It's just not getting through her head. She's not funny enough. She's not interestingly enough. She's a mess. She's a boring mess. She's just not getting it that whatever viral trend is going on, it's never going to work out for her ever.
dispatcher, like the person's like freaking out in the middle of a real emergency and they're asking like really questions that they must have a reason to ask. I don't know. But and some of them are just so rude. Like they're just so desensitized to like um you know human tragedy. You know, it's kind of sad, but I don't know. I guess that was the inspiration behind it, just like a parody of that, you know, and people were like, well, this is so insensitive. Like the reaching just to like try to demonize my character more is just like insane. I don't know.
We don't have to demonize you. We don't have to make you look bad. You do a fine job of that all by your lonesome, Chantal. We don't have to work to make you look awful. You give people examples of why you're awful every day. And all we do is react to your awful.
Anyway, speaking of which, I did want to say, and
Oh, are we about to get to the part where she talks about BBJ? Here we go.
I am trying to avoid drama because it's not good for anybody. But do you guys remember before I came back to Kuwait, before I moved out of the villa, everyone was freaking out, accusing me of starving BBJ.
There it is. There it is. So didn't she just say, I'm trying to avoid drama? Then she brings this up. This is her life, okay? This is her life. She can talk about whatever she wants. She can bring up whatever topic she wants, negative, positive, or neutral. So, Miss, I'm trying to avoid drama and hate. I'm going to bring up a topic that really I have no business bringing up because I was in the wrong. And I know I was in the wrong. And yet I'm going to try to exploit it one more time in front of my audience. Knowing the reaction channels react to her streams, she's going to include this topic when she really doesn't have to. We're about to go there again. And yes, Chantal, you did starve BBJ. You left the cats with Pete's. There was no food, or if there was food, it was hidden. You moved the food, and Pete's got on live stream, and he told everybody that the cats ran out of food 2 days prior. And a wonderful person, I'm sorry, I don't know your name to give you credit, they were so concerned they actually had food delivered to the house just so BBJ could eat. So you were starving her. You did. I feel you were trying to create a medical emergency so that when you took her to the vet, you were just thinking the vet was just going to put her down. And that didn't happen. But yeah, you did that.
Hallelujah. Thanks, Freya. Meanwhile, if you put a side-by-side photo, like if you check my community post, she looks more starving in the witch's hair.
No, she doesn't. I said this in another react. For those who did not hear it, I'll say it again. I have a roommate. He has 2 cats. One of them her name is Lima. She's a tortie, and she's about 16, 17 years old. Now, for a normal cat with no medical issues, some of them tend to get a bit thinner or look a bit thinner because of old age. But even more so if the cat has a medical issue, such as hyperthyroidism, which Lima has. And Lima, she eats like a horse. My roommate feeds her, I feed her. She gets fresh water, she gets dry food, she gets all kinds of wet food. So she eats and she eats and she eats. But due to her hyperthyroidism, it's hard to keep weight on her. BBJ is an older cat. She also has hyperthyroidism and she's got kidney disease. So it might be hard to keep weight on her. But also, if I'm not mistaken, she also had to be shaved. So, she's a tiny cat anyway. She's not super huge. She's not super chubby. But Chantal is trying to insinuate that FFG is mistreating the cat in some way or starving her, and that's simply not true. Frenchie takes the cat to the vet every 3 weeks. She's in a loving home. She's being well cared for. She's obviously getting medical care. Chantal tried to insinuate that BBJ was on her last leg, and here we are several months later, and she's still with us. So apparently, even though she was really, really bad, she was definitely not knocking on death's door. And maybe Chantal is angry about that BBJ is still with us. Well, stay mad, Chantal. Stay mad.
Than ever with me. So, but nobody cares because it's not me, right? But anyway, what goes around comes around. I always say that, and I'm always right about that. So,
well, you know what? Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, saying what comes around goes around. So let's examine that for a minute. Let's really examine that, Chantal, from that perspective of what comes around goes around. So little BBJ, she lived a life of misery with you. Absolute misery in every way. She was very, very sick. Very sick. She was essentially tortured. What happened to her? She ended up with people that loved her, taking care of her, taking her to a vet. And she's on the mend. She's doing very well. Meanwhile, on your side, with all the awful things you've said and all the awful things you've done, if there is a thing called karma, and I believe there is, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on with Chantal? Let's see. Karma looked at her and said, health failing, check. Failing channel, check. Declining views and likes, checked. Declining funds, check. Unhappy sham marriage, which makes her miserable, check. YouTube putting their foot down on her triggering wrong content, also check. There's not a single area of her life where she's happy. Because if she were a happy, well-fulfilled woman, she wouldn't be raging. She wouldn't have a reason to. She wouldn't have time to. But she's nothing but mad. And she's pathetically trying to exploit old topics for views, for attention, because there's that angry beast inside of her longing to come out. And yet Chantal is not letting it out. The only way she's letting it out is through her community post. But if she had a happy, fulfilled life, a healthy life, she wouldn't have time to rage. She wouldn't want to rage. She'd be filled with happiness, and negativity would just slide off her back. But here we are, still talking about BBJ. So for anyone out there that you might be in chats, you might be in comment sections saying, the cat topic has been talked to death. Can we just stop? Can we just stop talking about this? Can we let BBJ just live her life in peace? We would love to. BBJ's been through hell. She deserves a life of peace and happiness with everything she's gone through. And let's really broaden the scope. I really hope that Sam, her other cat, is also living in peace and happiness because he deserves it too. One more thing about karma. For those who've been wanting some really big karma punches to Chantal, just something to think about. Sometimes, if there are innocent beings kind of connected or in the way to something that needs to be dealt with, karma will wait to give its hardest punches until the innocent and the good are out of harm's way. Because once the innocent and good are out of harm's way, it can really get to work. So BBJ and Sam are in better places with better people. Now it can really get to work on Chantal.
Anyone who ever accused me of that, please have several seats and shut it. Thank you. Have a nice day.
No, we're not going to take several seats because you will probably need them to sit down yourself. How about that?
So I would be a good 911. No, I applied for a job there because they pay very well. But the amount of stress, I was investigated by like police, like detectives during the interview. And they were like, so why did you leave your old job? And I was like, damn. Like they really grilled me to get me to, I don't know how they did it, but they got me to admit that I left one of my jobs because of stress. But you know what, to be fair,
you never left your jobs. You were fired. You were fired from lack of work, for not showing up to work.
it's good that they do that because they don't want to hire the wrong people for that. Because What are you doing? You should see her. He didn't know where the cans were, but they always have crunchy food. And it was maybe like half a day or something.
Yeah, about that. So I'm not going to let Pete's off the hook either because he was in the house. And although Chantal's cats were not his cats per se, even if you are not the owner of a pet, if somebody has left you to care for pets, what's stopping you from picking up a phone and ordering food off of an app if you can't go get it yourself? If you can't walk to the store and just get a few cans of cat food? What's stopping you? Nothing stopped him. He didn't open his mouth for 2 days. That's ridiculous. Even if you have no normal cat food in the house, you can't find something in the house to feed the cats. Absolutely nothing. I mean, there's no excuse. Absolutely none. He's a jerk too.
Before he found the wet food, like they always have
He didn't find the wet food. People had food delivered to the house.
crunchies. The point is, they weren't starving and they looked very well nourished compared to, even animal control. When they came, they said that.
Okay. So I mentioned this before. I'll say it again just for context. When Chantal gave away BBJ, she did a goodbye video. So there's a timeline of when that video was done. There's a date on it. That video was done. 48 hours later, French Fried Girl took BBJ to the vet for the claws. Then other visits were done. So there's documentation. There's a timeline of a video that was done when the pet was in her care. And then there's documentation shortly after that of all the procedures that were done and all the things that were wrong. So if she was in near perfect health or perfect health, why would the vets find so many issues? And why would a vet who has absolutely nothing to do with Chantal, who's not a reaction channel, who's not part of this community, put on the paperwork saved from neglect? They would only do that if they saw an extensive amount of damage and issues.
Now she looks actually emaciated, starving, and suffering, and she's being used for clout and views. That's it.
And you know what about that? A couple of things. First thing, for those who are not aware, please let you know that French Fried Girl did reach out to Chantal before the rescue. She reached out to Chantal and said, look, I'll pay you, I believe it was $3,000 for BBJ. And she offered to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, so that she would get the cat and nothing would be discussed about her care. So that was put on the table. Chantal claims that Frenchie just got BBJ for clout and for views and for money. But if that were true, why would Frenchie do that? She offered to pay her $3,000 and an NDA. Chantal refused. And so the rescue happened as it did. Secondly, Chantal is accusing French Fried Girl of clout and views. But what the heck is this? BBJ isn't her pet anymore. And she's still talking about her when she has no right to talk about her. She has no reason to talk about her. It's a done deal. She's doing it to poke at people. And in her own wicked, subtle, evil way, she's still trying to exploit her former pet by bringing up her name, knowing that it triggers people. BBJ is an elderly cat who's still on the mend and still trying to attach that cat to her. You didn't care for her when you had her, Chantal, and you don't care for her now. But even from afar, you're still trying to use her, when really you should let her be at peace.
So I don't want to hear any of that crap ever again. Match booth. Sorta. Kebab bees in Halusha. Don't pay attention to the bad comments. You take wonderful care. Thank you, Jessica.
No, she doesn't. She's got Julia and her fur looks matted. How can anybody say that?
Vanessa, hello. That's the thing. Like, I'm always torn between, is it worth talking about things that people are literally like the things that she said were literally to try and defame my character, and I did lose.
Nobody can defame your character because you don't have one to start with. This isn't about your character, Chantal. This isn't about you. This is about what you did to BBJ. This is about her health, her well-being. You shameful, evil creature. You hurt BBJ. You neglected BBJ. And you're not sorry for it. You're not crying tears of regret and remorse for it. You didn't then, you're not doing it now. All you're interested in is exploiting this subject and keeping it going. You just won't leave it alone. And it's really stupid on your part, because the people that are on your channel, the new Beezers, that they're just walking in the door, they don't know the lore, they don't know your past like we do, that didn't know about this stuff. Excuse me. The reaction channel is because you're talking about it. We're going to bring it up. We'll show the pictures. We'll show the video clips, and then they'll know. And from a profit standpoint, I don't know why you'd want to do that. I don't know why you want your new Beezers to know what an awful, neglectful, evil, twisted, manipulating liar you are. The depth of your depravity. I don't know why you'd want them to know. That just shows me you're stupid. You're just stupid.
Was a lot of support because of those claims. Literally verbally, like, claiming I starved my pets for years and stuff like that, which is 100% false. So I'm torn between, do I even address that, or do I just ignore it? You know?
You could ignore it. This is your live. You could talk about whatever you want. You choose the topics. You choose the content. Even if somebody says something in a chat, you don't have to address it. You don't have to bring it up. You could just glaze right past it and pretend it wasn't there. You're bringing it up for a reason. It's a done deal. BBJ's safe. She's happy. She's healthy. For God's sake, Chantal, leave her alone. She's been through enough. Let her retire as she should. Let her live in peace. I saw the picture of BBJ with the puppy. Strange that a pet that's supposedly being abused and mistreated was sitting with a dog right next to her, and she wasn't freaking out. She wasn't afraid. She was calm. Strange how you're claiming all this stuff, and yet she looked the picture of peace, which is more than what you are right now.
I'm always torn between that. It's hard. Like, Howie is good. Cindy. Yeah, you're right. If you want to be a 911 operator, you have that. They really do evaluate you, because I mean, it's tough work, man. But that's why in my...
Okay, so here's Salah in the chat writing miniature books saying, you're always animal lover, because I saw that in the real life, how take care of them in the passion. This to see the animal in a lovely way. Nobody will affect you negatively. Salah, you don't care about Chantal. You care about her money. You care about the fact that she's paying your way, bro. If she didn't have money, you wouldn't be with her. But you got your hands all in her financial accounts. But what are you going to do, sir? When, and not if, but when she becomes bedbound. Because you got to realize at some point something's got to give. Nobody can live this kind of life and sit there and keep pushing towards super, 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 super morbid obesity without the body breaking down. Her body is already breaking down. The warning signs are all there. Are you going to be the one to care for her when she's bedbound? Are you going to change her bedpan? Are you going to have the strength to roll her around in bed, to bathe all of her areas, all of her crevices, to make sure she doesn't get bed sores or any other serious infections? Are you going to be content with just being constantly there, giving her constant care and supervision? Because that's the life you got right now that you're looking at. It's all fun and games until it's not. You never cared about her being an animal lover. You cared about her YouTube income, because as long as she's making money, you don't have to work, you bum.
In my Stay on the Line cartoon, I was like, were you hired during the budget cut? Because like this person clearly should not be an operator. They are brain dead people who follow that witch thief who stole BBJ. She is starving now, and also she lied about her being in USA, and we all see she is suffering with her. Yeah, exactly. She looked healthy. Exactly, babe. She looked healthier in your care. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing. You know?
You know, there's one thing that you VIBs that you cannot argue against. Documentation. And FFG has plenty of that. She's got documentation from the vet, from all those visits, every procedure, every time something was done, she's got it. She's got the paperwork. So it doesn't matter if you like FFG or not. If you've got something to say, you can't argue against video evidence. And you can't argue against documentation and paperwork from professionals. Just can't do it. She can sit there and tell you, I was a good pet owner. I was a good pet owner. But how can you argue against proof, facts presented by a certified professional? You really, really can't.
Anyway, it's their karma, not mine. Whatever. I've come to terms with what happened and I'm moving on, like whatever. But I still want to point that out, that
I'm moving on. Then why haven't you moved on? Why are we still talking about this? Why do you keep bringing it up? Why? What's the point? You lost that battle, Chantal. You lost it long ago, but your pride won't let you move on. You just won't get past it. FFG and BBJ won. You lost. You will never be able to rewind the clock and turn back time and make things different. And you know what? You shouldn't. Everything happened the way it was supposed to. Fate stepped in and said, not today, Satan. Not today. Not this one. We're saving this one. We're not going to let what you want to happen to her happen. This one's getting saved. And she was. And it doesn't matter if it was by somebody you like or you don't like. The point is, it happened. But it just so happened that the person that saved her was somebody you didn't like. You were very content to give her to a stranger without properly vetting them, somebody that claimed to be bedridden, knowing that BBJ needed medical care. You were completely content with the idea the person wasn't a YouTuber and therefore the worst of your evils could not be exposed. But you got a lot of discontent when you found out your evils were going to be exposed. That's when you had a meltdown. And you haven't stopped since.
How are you going to try to defame my character and say that I was starving my cat?
You have no character, you have no honor, you have no integrity, you have no heart, you have no soul, you have none of those things. You're an empty, void space. You feel that emptiness and you try to fill it with the wrong things, party favors, food. You're like a termite that won't stop eating. You're constantly hungry. You feel that emptiness inside of you, and you think if I eat, the emptiness will go away. Look at all the food you've eaten. Has the emptiness gone away, Chantal? No, it just gets bigger. Because you're using the wrong thing for the wrong problem, moron.
Just because Pete didn't know where the can of wet food was for a few hours when they had crunchies. When she's clearly emaciated now in your care. Because you're an evil witch who doesn't care about the cat.
You know, she's trying to claim that FFG is starving her. But I'm going to bring this up. I remember all the live streams that Chantal did at the villa where the cats were so hungry, they were literally climbing on top of the counters looking for food. They were all over Chantal meowing, crying out for food. In that picture, BBJ was sitting down, laying down peaceful. So there you go.
And she like clearly lies to her audience. I don't have the cat, but it's like sitting beside her dog. Moron. And it cries in her videos. Moron. So you know what? They just want to be, they don't care as long as they try to affect me or make me angry. You're not going to affect me.
You know, for someone who wants to move on from this subject, in this live stream alone, you're talking an awful lot about it. You didn't just bring it up for a minute and leave it alone. You're still talking about it. It doesn't look like moving on to me.
I always say that. Yes, yeah. Back in Kuwait. Sunny day.
But on all of you Beezers, you really shouldn't be thrilled that she's back in Kuwait. I'm telling you. Trust and believe. Now that she's back in Kuwait, she's going to go nowhere. She's not going to do anything. She's so happy to be back in Kuwait where she can just eat and eat and eat and sit in the air conditioning. And she's going to use the excuse of, I traveled to Thailand. I showed you guys places. I walked around. So I get a pass from doing anything for the next several months. What you're looking at right now is exactly what you're going to see live stream after live stream after live stream and video after video. It's just going to be the same crap over and over and over again.
But it's not as hot. So, mission accomplished. We came back at a good time. Do you have rosacea? Probably, yeah. My skin is not great, but I mean, I've been like stressing. I've been hot, sweaty, traveling. My skin is, and I haven't been using Lush, so maybe that's why. Mental health. Thank you, man. How is your mental health? It's okay, Nessa. Now that I'm back on my meds for a little while, doing better. A lot better. Just ignore the Islamophobic nasty witch. Yeah. I know. People are like trying to get me off of YouTube by saying I'm like being anti-Semitic when I say goblin. It's not because she's Jewish, it's because she looks like a goblin and she's like a monster. I didn't even know that. Like if you Google goblin and you even go to the Wikipedia page,
Chantal, people have told you, even after you said that, even if you didn't know, people in your own chat told you how hateful and wrong that was, and you still continue to say it, and you still continue to defend it.
It's a mythical creature. There's nothing about anything about Jewish people in that. They're just reaching. But yeah, someone is like trying to get me off of YouTube, and they're like still doing videos for free. Yeah, we're doing great now, so thank you.
You know, she's laughing about somebody being demonetized. At the same time, she's walking on very thin ice with her content. I wouldn't laugh about anybody on YouTube being demonetized, Chantal, when the new policies are coming up and YouTube might enforce them. I really wouldn't be laughing too terribly loud about that.
Oh, she's sleeping on her scratcher, babe. Especially being back home. Oh my god, look at all the rice. I'm full. Oh.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she's going to start the cooking videos. Didn't she say she was going to start cooking? I wonder how many cooking videos she's going to do. Probably not that many. She's probably going to come to the table saying, I was going to cook, but I'm so tired. Or we were so busy today, so we just got some takeout. Something tells me that's going to be what's upcoming. Like all the promises of cooking content, and she's not going to cook. She hates to cook. Too much work. She doesn't want to prepare the food. She wants to eat the food.
Yeah, it's like 1 p.m. here. I'm eating a heavy lunch. But we don't have like groceries yet, so I have to go do groceries later and go to Pet Zone and finish unpacking. Yada, yada, yada. And I also...
You know, the amount of time it took her to do this live, she could have gotten on an app, ordered some groceries, and had them delivered. And not had to eat this takeout. I just wanted to point that out.
We can heat it up later, yeah. There's too much rice. For sure. Anyway, guys, I have to go because I have so much to do.
She's got so much to do. She's got to hit the bathroom. You know, all that heavy food. You know, she's going to be doing like 10 bathroom visits in an hour. So much to do.
2 hours in front of the UK? Really? Do a live shopping? I have like no makeup, nothing on. I know, I'm so tired.
That's a constant in her lives. I'm so tired. When is the last time Chantal's gotten on a live and said, I've got so much energy today. I am ready to get things done today. No, it's always the same. I'm so tired. Everything makes Chantal tired. Thinking of ideas makes her tired, but she's always freaking tired. You can tell by her face. She just got up a little while ago. She's still got the CPAP lines on her face. Those V lines on her cheeks from her CPAP mask. So she literally just got up a little while ago, but already she's so tired. You don't see a problem with that, Chantal? Because that's not normal.
First thing I'll cook, you'll see, Joanne, because I'm going to film it. I definitely want to make a bolognese. I'm craving spaghetti bolognese. I don't know why.
Oh, my God. So on top of all that rice, you're going to eat. You know what? You do you, Chantal. You do you. Because when you become bedbound, don't come crying to any of us. Don't cry to your viewers. Don't ask for sympathy. Not going to get it. You're putting yourself in the state that you're in. You are making the choices of your health right now.
So, success is the best revenge. Keep succeeding. Yeah, true, Nessa. I just got home. Yeah, sorry guys. It's not a long live now, but Maybe later. You know, like just getting home from like a month and a half long vacation is like, I didn't realize how much I have to unpack and organize. And like, first I have to clean everything. I have to clean my bathrooms, my floors, my house, and do so much laundry, wash all the we got new bed sheets and everything. I have to wash those. But alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful that we have a washer dryer. So I can, you know, like being in Thailand made me appreciate my house so much. Like, anyway.
You know what? We just got like a minute left. I think we'll end it here. Oh, and look at the big coward. She turned the comments off. Why? Why'd you turn the comments off, Chantal? Why'd you turn them off for? This is your first live back to Kuwait. Why turn the comments off? Well, you know what? As I said, you do you. Because as another YouTuber, when you turn the comments off, that hurts your engagement. And when your engagement goes down, that means when people search for you, you go further down the page and the reaction channels go back up. So go ahead and do that. Turn your comments off. Anyway, that's it for today, y'all. I've got a lot of stuff to do today, too. I was in the process of doing laundry. I got to go get that fixed. So I hope you guys have a great day. Please take care of yourselves. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have a good one. Bye now.